guys, welcome to Tell Insights. Today we're going to be speaking with Wallabies winger Marika Koriobete. His story is truly inspirational. All the way from the village in Fiji to the fields of rugby league and then onto rugby union, there's a story that we can all learn something from and take away some real good insights. So I hope you enjoy the chat with Marika as much as I did.
Koroibete is clean away. It's a wonderful solo effort. Marika, Koroibete all the way. This stretches.
So I'd like to welcome Marika Koriobete to Tell Insights. I've been fortunate enough to know Marika for over 6 years now, and he's one of the most inspirational people I've ever met. Marika, thanks for joining us for the chat today.
Thanks, Terry. You're welcome. Hopefully you guys like it.
I want people to get an idea of what it's like where you've come from, where you live in Fiji. When people think about Fiji, they think about the islands and those sorts of things, but you don't come from the can you tell me about your village and where you come from?
Yeah, I'm from the main island, which live. Yeah, originally from Nebulin, Tashiri, but I was brought up in my mom's village. My parents still live there now. Where I'm from the interior of Tashiri, the interior of Moms.
And to get there, Marika, it's about a 3-hour drive up hills and through mountains. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, 3 hour drive. Yeah.
And when you were growing up there, what was life like? What was life like for Marika when he was growing up?
Like just like it's normal life. It's like going through the process that had been happening for 100 years in my village. Just growing up, go to school, and backpack in the village. You're lucky enough you go get a job or get education, career going on. But if you're not, you go follow the same routine that our father's been doing, and just farming and survive. And yeah, just pretty much planting cassava, taro, Angona, and sell it in the market to buy whatever you need for daily life. So yeah, life in the village is growing up is really easy. It's everyone share things. You don't have anything you can go ask. But in other way, it's hard as well. You have to work hard to plan things for you to sell it, for you to get some money. If you don't do that, you won't get anything. So, but we in the village, the good thing about it, everyone share. You don't have anything, go ask your uncle, ask your cousin or grandfather. Everyone willing to share.
And going to school, how far did you have to go to get to school, and how did you get there?
In school, it's around 10 to 15 kilometer. Yeah, we walk there by 8 o'clock. You have to be in school, so we roughly leave home around 6:30. It'll be an hour and a bit walk. So they go to school and walk back after school. So we do that for 5 days a week. Yeah. It's pretty solid.
And just to give people an idea, these aren't flat roads, are they? These are dirt roads, and they're really uphill and downhill.
Gravel. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and the gravel. You're lucky it's on the gravel. You're lucky you got if you got a shoes. If you don't have a shoes,
yep.
I think our feet will get used to it. Eh?
I probably don't know about you as you're a good horse rider. Is that right?
Yeah, I love riding horse. Yeah, that's one of our thing of transportation back in the village. If you got a horse, it's a bit easier for you to go from village to village or go to your farm or wherever you want to go to, you can just ride horse. So you'll be lucky enough if you got a horse. But sometimes you have to walk. You have to give your horse a rest.
Because those hills.
Yeah.
So when you're in the village, when you're growing up, what did you want to do? What was your ambition in life? What did you want to be?
Yeah, really just I want to be a farmer growing up. But then when I get a bit, when I start go to high school, then I was thinking to be a pastor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be a pastor. Then then just start playing rugby, and I think got changed. Then here I am.
When
I think on year 10, then I went to National Secondary School. That's when I was 17. That's when school tried to introduce me with the game. All my mates, my cousins who went to the same school as well, they start to play. Oh, why don't you give a crack? So yeah, I was like, why not? So I was start playing at 17, and that was in 2009 and 2010. I was I think I might get a chance yet. I think I got a talent with me, and probably will. Why don't you give a crack? And they say me a good pick for Fiji under 18. They come over to Australia to play the Newcastle Street Ball and the St. Mary in Sydney and the Metroville High School where Paul was playing. After that, then after that, the tournament we come over in 2010. A few clubs was approaching me, say, want to get my signature. They asked me what they want to got a contract for me. It's like, oh, contract. My intent is just come up to Australia and play and go back home, same routine, back to the same routine, back to school. I wasn't thinking that I'm gonna come over and actually get a contract and club teaching me for my signature, which was something I was from the village to school. Was a bit culture shock, and I haven't experienced or imagine I would reach that stage to a club want my signature.
So your secondary school coach at that time was Master Dan, is that right?
Yeah, Master Nusi and Master Dan. Yeah.
Can you tell me about Master Dan and his influence on you, I guess, and also on football in Fiji?
They saw the potential in me, Master Dan, Master Nusi. That's why they can play up with the under 19. So from there on, just my rugby, I got a lot of confidence in myself, and if I'm 17, can play with under 19s. I can. They just be encouraging me, teach me just the basic stuff. Until I come up to Australia, we still got in touch, and make us very, very, very strong as not as as a teacher, it's like as a family now.
When did you first realise you were quick? When did you know that you had speed?
I don't know, probably in the village when I was young, because we normally just playing touch with the uncles, all the villages. Just running around, chasing some of the older boys. I was like, oh, I think I've got some speed with me. But I don't know. I'm not thinking about playing with. But I knew I got a little bit of speed on me. So, yeah.
So you first game in the NRL with the West Tigers.
Yeah, first game was against Rabbitohs in SCG. No, NZ. It was a sunny Sunday. Still remember that day very well. It was
the next big moment for you was against Parramatta, wasn't it? When you scored a handful of tries, is that right?
Yeah, second game.
That was your second game. Tell me about that game. Do you remember much about it?
Yeah, I remember we were down something and we stuck. The Parramatta was they were leading from half time, and I think we just came back and put 51 points after that. And I remember my first try and another one after the other, and one from Metutai, and the one on the last minute when Farah threw the last ball. It's a good memory.
That was 4 tries?
It was in 4 tries, I think.
What was the biggest challenge for you coming from Fiji to Sydney? What was the biggest challenge? What was the thing you found hardest?
For me, just to leave my family behind in Fiji. It's a big move for me at 18 years old. It was another country and adapt to the lifestyle as well. Culture shock with a lot of things, majority of the things. Grew up in the village and just 2 years in city and come up to one of the biggest cities in the world in Sydney. And it's culture shock. That's the thing I was struggling with my family and adapt to the culture, to lifestyle as well.
And you were living with another Fijian player at that time. I think you mentioned Thungeli before. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was sharing a room with Thungeli. Then we meet in Sanvirtag as well. Was good. We stay with another pure Fijian. You can speak Fijian with, and you can talk to. It was good. We had a very good special bonding in the first 2 years together, and not long then we go our ways. I'm really happy for him as well. He's been excellent with his career.
What advice would you give yourself now, looking back, when you first come into the NRL or over to Australia to play football? What advice would you give to yourself or any other young guy coming into the game and coming into a big city? What advice would you give?
Adapt to the lifestyle straight away. You just have to you're gonna adapt to the lifestyle in your own way. You just come, whatever you come here for to achieve, you keep a focus on that. You work hard for it, and you put a lot of sacrifice on it, and keep knocking down the wall until you can knock it out anymore. So. But just you don't adapt to the system. You're gonna adapt to the system in your own time, and that's the only thing. Just keep focusing on what you come here for, and work hard towards it, and keep knocked down the wall.
Wow, that's really good advice, Marika. And I think that's what you did. You kept on, trying to break down that wall. So you went from West Tigers to the Storm. Can you tell me about, I guess, that transition into the Storm and adapting to the Storm culture as well? Tell me a bit about the Storm culture and how that might be different from other rugby league cultures.
Yeah, everyone told me that when I was about to come to the Storm, I already heard things about the Melbourne Storm, the quality of the club and the environment, the culture there is something that it's undoubtable. You can tell from how successful the club is because of the standard they got. Going over there, it's really happy for it. It's it's changed my attitude, my mentally as well. It's something that they very good at. I feel like it's it's a good club. To want to start your career. To come up with it's. The way how they teach things. It's just muscle memory. You stay for you for all of your career. That's one thing I like about. One thing I like. I learned it a lot from the Melbourne Storm. For me, it's I think it's just it's a bracelet. As a back three, we took a lot from him. Directing the wingers, don't. It's just his advice. There's a wisdom he got, knowledge how you know the game. He's someone you've been watching it for a long time, and advice from him. It's you'll make you better, and of course you taking the advice from one of the greats, which is.
What are the two things you took away from the Storm that you still keep with you now as a way of approaching football, as a tool? What would those two things be?
I think it's aggression, and just your work ethic as well. That's the two things. Just aggression and work ethic.
I think we can see both of those things in your Wallabies transition. But tell me about that. How do you go from the Storm to the Wallabies? How does that come about?
Just end of 2016, 2016, and just mid through 2016. That but that we I think they might get a chance to go to my manager told me might get a chance to rugby union, asked me what I think, and still and been interested as well if I'll make a switch. Just from there, and then growing up as well in Fiji, what's the Super Rugby. I was thinking, why don't you give Super Rugby a crack and hopefully make the Wallabies, and then I just changed from there and switched to union and try see how it goes on rugby. To make my debut on the Wallabies in 2017 and see my family there. Really, it's something we plan about by changing over to rugby and to achieve that. It's ticking all the boxes that we've been planning.
What does the Wallabies jersey mean to you?
No, it's people who wore it before. People who wore it before, they put a lot of passion on the jersey. You can see the tears, blood, the sweat on it. You just don't the jersey, you just given the different speech. It's fighting for the country, not just for yourself or for your family or for representing the whole country of Australia into the map of the world. Into the map of the world.
So one of my favourite pictures is a picture of you and Tangeli singing the national anthem together in your Wallabies jersey. Can you tell me about that moment?
Yeah, I think this was in Bordeaux. It was 15 game. Yeah, it was, who would have think, I was telling Tangel after that, who would have think, or the build-up, told him, who would have think we're going to come to play for Australia here in France together, just two boys, started over in Bowood, in Sydney, and, to be able to play with him in another country representing Australia. It's something special, and we could believe where hard work can take you.
You spoke before about Emma. Emma's your wife, and I always talk about Team K, Team Koriobete. How important is family to you and to your success in football? I know you're very close to your mum and dad as well, and your family. How important is that to you?
Yeah, it's just there's a lot of things behind those. You go through. My family is always one of the main reasons of my success in my career. They're just the support at home, the advice, the positive vibe. As will go unnoticed in the rugby field, and not to look after the boys. Just give me more time for me just to focus on my rugby and to give out the best performance in the field as I could. That's one of the things. It's one thing that go unnoticed.
If you were to give people just 3 takeaways, things that they can take away and help them with life, whether it's from football or your life growing up in the village or wherever it might be, what would those 3 insights be?
I think it's hard work. Work hard to something you really want to work hard, to put a work on it to achieve the goal. And second is dedication. You have to dedicate something to your life to achieve what you want to achieve. Just to those 2 things: dedication and hard work. And of course, you have to listen as well. While you're going through, you have to listen to every instruction you want to.
I think good piece of advice, Marika. Mate, it's always good to have a chat to you. Even better to have a chat and really get some deep insights from you. I really thank you for your time and jumping on with Tell Insights for me. Thanks, Marika.
Thanks. Oh, good, Terry. I message you. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Mate.